Recently, my local off-license had a delivery of new beers from their distributor. They dropped in a few sample beers, and I was lucky enough to get the choice of one of about 10 different beers. And what I picked out was what I think is the most interesting one of the samples that were on offer. Have you ever had a tart cherry coffee porter? Well, that's what I'm about to have now. It's brewed from Metal Man Brewing Company, a brewery in Ireland that I absolutely love. I love their whole sort of story, ethos, and just the people that run the place as well. So that's going to be up next. Hey, welcome back to Brews and Brews. I am Brendan, and this is Decade, is it? I think it's called Decade. It's from Metal Man Brewing Company. Let me see what it says on the back, and I'll tell you about the beer. It's got barley, wheat, hops, yeast, cherry, coffee, lactose in the beer, so that's going to be interesting. They're certified as an independent Irish craft brewery from the ICBI. This is a tart cherry coffee porter. It's 5.2%. It's a really interesting beer. The coffee comes directly from a Waterford roastery, Coffee House Lane. Check them out. After 10 years of making beer, we thought we would mark the occasion. Okay, so this is a 10-year anniversary beer with something a little different. We teamed up with one of our friends in the Coffee House Lane and came up with this limited edition tart cherry coffee and porter. That is a lot of contrasting flavors to pack into one can. It's not quite like anything we've brewed before, so happy anniversary to us. Well, hats off, firstly for the 10-year anniversary, secondly for being a great brewery that everybody loves in Ireland, and thirdly for brewing a beer that is bold and adventurous in flavors. We all love to have something just a little bit wacky out there, a little bit experimental. It's a limited edition. It's a fun beer. It's 5.2%. It's in a dinky little pick and mix can, as I call these cans. Let's get it into the glass using my Ballykill Cavern tulip glass. Oh yeah, decent head on the top. Want to see if that head sticks around. I'm going to get the whole beer in the glass. Normally I wouldn't do that, but excuse the pouring. That's my fault. A lot of hissing going on, so I can smell coffee from here, which is a great sign. Anytime you add coffee to a beer, just before I drink this, when you add coffee to a beer in any description, you are lowering the pH, higher in the acidity, so you're definitely going to have a battle against keeping the head on the beer. As you can see, this has a decent head on it, but I can hear, and you probably can't hear on the microphone, that it's hissing quite a bit, so wait and see if that sticks around. Luckily it's in a 33cl can, so it won't be here in this glass too long. But some of the head on this beer is a little bit unstable. It's off. It's kind of like it's an off tan coloured head, but there is elements of a different colour in it, which I suspect is the cherries. Is cherry in here, isn't it? Cherry coffee, lactose. Yeah, so the rocky head on it. Anyway, looking good. Not much colour to the sides of it. Perhaps the twinge of hazelnut, autumnal sort of edges on the beer. But other than that, dark, murky, not very much clarity on it. On the nose is quite a forceful coffee aroma. The sort of coffee that would wake you up in the morning. Yeah, so that's quite strong, you know, not like a mellow coffee. This is a really assertive, bold coffee, roasted version of a coffee. and pretty much no cherry on the nose, although I suspect that coffee would take over anyway. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Cheers, cilantro. Let's give it a go. This has a light body to it, this beer. I suspect the lactose may have been in there to increase the body, where the cherry and the coffee would undoubtedly have lowered the mouthfeel and the body of the beer. So let me see. It is, as I suspected, 4 hugely competing flavours. We've got cherry, we've got coffee, we've got porter, we've got a bit of lactose going on in there as well. It is a bit tart as well. I mean, that's just from the cherries as well. So let's see. There are drinking beers and there are thinking beers. This is 100% a thinking beer. It's a fun beer, but it's on the darker side. We're moving into the summer months now, and I really feel like this is a beer for possibly the cooler months of the year, because it is a porter. The coffeeness plays into the roastiness of a porter, although porter is arguably slightly less roastier than a stout. Let's see what I'm just trying to work out which way to go about this. The first thing is, in the tops and the back and around the palate, the roof of my mouth is tartness from the cherries, but around the bottom part of my mouth, although there is a bit of that, there's quite a lot of coffee, so it's kind of like separated in my mouth. Whilst the aroma is predominantly coffee, when you taste it, there is cherry in there, quite a bit of cherry. It's sort of medium to high amounts of cherry flavour, and the cherries that they've used are slightly tart. Just think of what the taste of eating a cherry right now, and you'll be pretty much, you know, if you add that to a porter and if you stick an espresso shot of coffee in there, that is pretty much exactly what you're getting. It is one of those beers where you get exactly what it says on the tin. It is a Ronseal style beer. And the good thing is, like, it delivers on its promise. Whether you like that promise or not is another story. But I happen to like coffee, I happen to like porter, I happen to like cherries, and I happen to like tart beers. So I think this is a bold, experimental, fun, enjoyable way to celebrate a 10-year anniversary of a great brewery. Would I go out and buy this beer again? I might like to share it with friends just to see their opinions of it. It's kind of like a bizarre beer, but at the end of the day, not every beer has to be the greatest beer on the planet. This is just fun. Loads of coffee is bizarre because you get coffee on the nose, but you get quite a lot of no cherry on the nose, but when you taste it, loads of cherry and less coffee. Quite a thin beer, thin body to the beer. However, I like it. Cheers, cilantro. That's my view on this brew, and it's on to the next one. Bye-bye.